Hey everybody! I hope that my intro didn't get totally cut out there, but anyway, welcome back. The Northernlion plays The Binding of Isaac, well, community remix, of course. As I mentioned, I am starting this one with Cool Bean. I'm not trying to trick you. Cool Bean, I'm not totally sure what it does, but I do have a quick, handy link. That was an extremely lucky drop there. A quick, very handy link that I can click on to teach me what it does. But first I want to give it, a little bit of my CSI, forensic kind of eye. I'm forensic like CSI. Give me a chance for my forensic. Anytime you can fit in a Judas Priest reference, it's a good day for Isaac, even though my singing voice is god-awful. So, it's a bean. Seems like it lets you fart once every 2 rooms. What does it actually accomplish? My guess would be that it has a chance to potentially freeze enemies. I'm not totally sold on that yet because we haven't had it happen so far. I'm super psyched that we picked up the small rock so early as well, by the way. Just in case the cool bean ends up being Garbo, which is just a great slang word, then we'll have an out at least, We have a little bit of tear damage that should keep us alive for a certain length of time. Halo Flies showed up again. I closed and reopened Isaac, so, despite the fact we've gotten the same item, actually a couple of the same items that we've had over the past couple of runs, don't be blaming me for that one. I restarted. It's just RNG messing around here. Let's see if it's super effective against bosses or something like that. As of right now, I haven't necessarily figured it out for myself. Haven't really figured out what all the fuss is about. That was a good Mr. Mega Glitch Bomb there. That's a sentence that wouldn't have made any sense in an earlier life. Now, so it does damage. It doesn't appear to do a freeze, though. I'm very close to actually looking up the solution for myself. I know people are going to be salty about it. I don't want to necessarily spoil a big surprise, but at the same time, as of right now, I saw so many people talking so highly about this item, and I'm like, it seems like a worse version of the bean. What am I missing here? So, I took the cardboard box, because I always take the cardboard box when it shows up. It's been quite kind to me right now. What else has it got there? Friends till the end, the sun card. We don't have rerolls, so, let's fight. No, let's look at the item effects. Okay, I'm off screen right now. Cool Bean. Once used, Isaac will have a cold fart that freezes any enemy in his radius. I disagree as of right now. Doesn't seem to be working. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I am freezing them, but they're unfreezing super quickly because I'm shooting them or something. I don't know. We'll experiment a little bit. It could be based on a luck stat or something. It could be just a random chance. I'm not totally sold on it yet, though. So, like, my description of the item was right, but I think I'm just missing some kind of actual. I'm missing some kind of like a little bit more of a fine mechanic, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. I don't blame you. That was a bit of a convoluted sentence. I hope it works in this version of the game. I mean, I can't imagine why it wouldn't, but. Sure, we've got a lot of stuff left to accomplish on this floor. Let's not get too bent out of shape about it just yet. Sun card is nice, very happy. We're not going to take the D6, we're sticking with this the whole way through. It looks like we might be able to make our shop worthwhile. I would, I mean, I feel like right now I would like Cool Bean more if it actually had, like the bean's new effect where it recharges like Blue Candle does. These enemies are not freezing, yo. The kind of cool graphical effect that you get for using it is nice. And it does a little bit of damage. What are these spirit hearts are dropping like crazy? But it doesn't really seem to be giving me that much benefit right now. Maybe it's because I cheated the system and the game knows, but whatever, we'll work it out. And I was thinking, like, what else am I gonna do? Like, what, oh, that's nice. That's a good drop there. Like, what else do I have to do to make Community Remix, like, worthwhile, right? Like, why keep making these videos? And I think for sure one of the things that I'm going to do is maybe even in the next episode, I'll make myself Loki, which is a little unfair because we'll be starting with, like, Loki's horns and the mark, which is a super great combination. Well, I mean, Loki's horns are not fantastic. That I think most people could overlook, but giving yourself the mark is pretty powerful. I don't know, maybe I'll find a way to lower my HP or something like that. But anyway, we're just going to keep on walking here. They don't freeze, man. I hope I'm not infuriating people by missing something. Is it possible that maybe, Cool Bean just didn't work in this build. If that's the case, that's real unfortunate, but I'll stick with it because I'm a trooper. Hope I'm not missing anything. I gotta shoot all this because I really need / want to get to 15 cents. We do have an Eternal Heart that I would very much love to pick up as well. See, it does damage, but the enemies don't get frozen. I know that there's been new editions of Community Remix. I haven't been updating just because, you know, I prefer to kind of set it and forget it. I haven't updated Spider Mod since like December, but I think it's only had one new release since then. I was under the assumption that it just worked as is. I didn't hear anybody getting all bent out of shape about it. Maybe I've just got to get closer. As is, right now, it's just like a pretty terrible damage dealer. But I feel like I'm going to put the blame on myself. I feel like I'm missing something. Well, the blame's on me one way or the other, right? Either I didn't research it enough to see if the item actually works, or I didn't update the version, or blah, 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 or I just don't understand how it works. But for now, I'm not seeing what all the hype's about. I thought maybe you'd have to, like, you know, use Cool Bean and then shoot them or something, and they'd, like, shatter. I don't know. For now, I got a little bit of, I feel a little disappointed. I feel a little bit like I've been tricked. We don't really want this Fool card. And very unfortunately, I don't quite have enough money to make the shop worthwhile. I have enough bombs to maybe find the secret room. Oh, fucking mom's eye. Come on. It's not there. There's a lot of potential secret room locations here. We've already looked at one of them. So we might be able to get a little lucky and just find it here. I think there's only 3 more, actually, so... Ah, there we go. We found it very quickly. Oh, well, maybe second secret room, but please, just 1 penny. Alright, we got a little bit of money and we got our bomb back, so that feels pretty good. Maybe a 9-volt wouldn't even help us here, so I'm just hoping for map or compass. I'm looking at the list of items right now, and I'm like, do we need any more? I don't think we've had Bowl of Tears either. That might be a good one to give us, but I think in the next video, we'll give ourselves... You know what? I'm going to buy it just because we're so early here. In the next video, we'll make ourselves Loki and see how that works. And I'd rather have it happen in the wild, but at the same time, that could take, you know, 30 episodes, because Loki's horns as is probably, you know, maybe like a once-a-week kind of item. And then, you know, the mark is very common, but... There's every time you miss out on getting the mark when you already have Loki's horns, then that's like a week down the drain, right? Who knows? So I think it's, you know, just out of curiosity's sake, it's good to see it. But for now, let's move on. I haven't really had an effective box of wires either. Like, box of wires, I have gotten, but it didn't do anything for me. But that was on a run where I was already, like, super strong, and I had, like, some tier effects that might have overridden it. Unfortunately, because Nick's always like, hey, did you get box of wires yet? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what did it do to your tiers, man? Why don't you tell me about it? And I'm like, it didn't really do anything at all, man. Like, I'm sorry. Just put a bomb down there. I really would love a deal with the devil. I didn't take the ones that we got on the last floor, so it's possible that train has sailed, unfortunately. But we're still in a pretty good position. Okay, Super Envy. You're gonna be my tester here. Come to my window, Melissa Etheridge style. Seriously, break apart here. Thank you. Now, try that out. Good freeze. Really did a good job. Kept them all in the same spot. Well, now, at the very least, if you end up feeling like giving myself the mark is too powerful, this is my comeuppance. I'm saddled with this spacebar item that doesn't do anything. And again, it's probably my bad, not the Community Remix makers. But hey, there you go. This is Cool Bean. In a way, I kind of wish that this was working as intended. Like, I wish that this was the intentional use of it. Because when you say cool beans to somebody, sometimes it's genuine, but sometimes it's kind of like a dismissive way of being like, yeah, cool story, bro, whatever. So, I kind of wish that it was like, yeah, this item looks cool, doesn't do anything. Much like my deadbeat husband. That doesn't really make any sense. I am married, but not to a man. I think I told this story once. I told it on stream at least, but I was at the bus stop one time, coming home, and this lady sidled up to me, and, you know, I was on my phone, you know, just looking down at it, which is the universal signal, I think, for, don't fucking talk to me. I don't want to be talked to. If I didn't have my phone out, it's like, hey, beautiful weather, huh? Yeah, oh, good morning, sport. Yeah, stuff like that. Let's make this out to be like a town square from the fucking Roman times or something. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, but I'm gonna take forever alone. She was like 50 or something. She was older than I am, and she like looked at my phone and she's like, I like that. And I was like, oh yeah, it's a nice phone. It's okay. And then she looked at my hand and she like pointed at my wedding ring and she's like, I like that too. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm married, like much of the population is. And she's like, husband? And I was like, you know, I didn't really know what to say, but I was like, no, I'm married to a woman. And she's like, oh. And I was like, does that surprise you? And she's like, a little bit, but I'm glad. And I didn't know whether to be like thankful or offended. And I was, because I don't think she was saying like, I'm glad that you're heterosexual because it means that we can get down, which obviously we did. But it sounded more like it was coming from a menacing place of like, I'm glad because I don't like gay people or something. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, I was like, well, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it because I'm too polite sometimes. Anyway, she started talking to me. And then as soon as the bus came, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. This lady is crazy. And just, you know, I kind of feel like if anybody talks to you at the bus stop and it's not like, hey, buddy, you know what time the bus is coming? Then you gotta get out of there, man. That person, they want your attention or something. They want something from you, and they're gonna take something from you in the process. My innocence in this case. Anyway, that was a roundabout story that basically boils down to some lady on the bus was a little homophobic to me once, despite me not being gay. And it's always weird when it's almost like she came up and she's like, right? Like, I'm glad you're straight because those gay people, right? And I was like, ooh, lady, don't drag me down into the 60s or the 50s with you here. I don't even know what era would be typified by like serious homophobia. Not that it still doesn't exist. Anyway, long story short, don't talk, if you want to avoid this kind of judgment, don't talk to people on the bus. Keep your bigoted beliefs to yourself, you big old angry person. I'm gonna pick up this. I'm not gonna look for the secret room apparently because I can't. And I don't think there's any way for me to get any extra money, so, well, you know, with 7 keys, I think we just look in our shop, because I did buy Steam Sale. Alright, I almost cost myself big time there. Totally worth going to the shop, because we already picked up Steam Sale. All is forgiven. So, let's move along here, and, we should be able to find something worthwhile. Hello, Kate.
Hello.
Inside of our shop, we find a battery, which I think is pretty much effectively worthless in our situation, but I'm gonna buy it nonetheless because I got 7 cents burning a hole in my pocket. I wonder if we... Problem with buying this bomb. Was there a bomb in there? There is a bomb in there. The problem with buying this bomb is that there's like a 1 in 3 chance we find a secret room and make our money back, probably. But that's a 2 in 3 chance we just, you know, bomb some rocks and don't get anything out of it. So I'd rather just save our money because we have the perfect amount to buy something from the next shop and make it work from there. I'm not feeling too fantastic about this run so far, mostly because Cool Bean apparently doesn't work, but, you know, you live and learn a little bit, I guess. Hopefully the Loki stuff works, and I'll update, Community Remix after, like, this series of today's recording, so that, if we get Cool Bean in the future, hopefully it'll actually accomplish something. As of right now, not necessarily blowing the doors off. Maybe these enemies are just like, they're wearing really thick coats or something like that, so it doesn't affect them as much. Because we got Small Rock, I'm gonna pick up the speed upgrade. Doesn't actually give us a range upgrade unless Community Remix fixed it. To be honest, I don't really give a shit. Speed upgrade, speed plus range upgrade, they're basically, you know... I mean, obviously I would prefer to have the range upgrade, but it's such a minor difference, unless you've taken accidentally like a range down pill or something like that, that doesn't really register in my brain that one is substantially better than the other, because they're not. They're both pretty much equal on the Isaac tier list. And again, battery plus frozen bean, battery plus cool bean. Oh my god, doesn't really seem that great of a combo given the very quick cooldown of cool bean. That being said, we got it. So here we are. 1 more hit should do it. When I said 1, I meant 3, which is... It's just you didn't get the memo. 1 is the new 3, man. Coming this fall on Netflix. Binge watch all the episodes. You have to say, I don't watch very much TV these days. But I have been getting down with the Netflix. What am I, like 100 years old? You kids heard about this Netflix thing? It's amazing. Ooh, okay. Well, at least we're gonna have something interesting going here. I know we had a run like this recently, but hey, this could be cool. Too bad the cool bean doesn't work. But hey, Gertie's like the perfect boss to try out Ludovico technique on again. We actually found it in the wild. Of course, like the episode or 2 episodes after I give myself Ludovico technique, it just shows up after like 15 episodes of not having it. But anyway, back to Netflix. Yeah, you know, binge watching is something that I can get behind. And I mean, I don't binge watch TV very much. I finished Breaking Bad, but it took me like 4 or 5 months. But being able to do that instead of taking 5 years has made TV a much more palatable experience for me. So I really appreciate Netflix. Just wish it had more good stuff on Canadian Netflix, because it's not necessarily too amazing. So you know what? I still have this item description thing out. Soap. Tears plus shot speed. That is, you know, not necessarily the most exciting item for us to pick up in a situation like this, but we can't re-roll it anyway, so... Now... Well, we got 2 Spirit Hearts, so we're gonna lose 1, but that's fine. Certainly a very, very community remixy run now. You can do some sweet dances with this tier. Especially now that it's squeaky. Now, there we go. Nice. We actually killed the fly with Cool Beans. Stop the presses. It's happened. I feel bad that Cool Bean's not really doing that much for us because so many people talked it up. So I'm like, oh man, people are probably so pissed that Cool Bean doesn't work because they're like, finally he's gonna get a chance to see like what's not universally, but very commonly regarded as one of the coolest new items in Community Remix, and then it's like, oh, well, he fucked it up somehow. Which, honestly, I kind of believe that I've been the harbinger of destruction for this item right now by not updating my game. Alright, Greed. Greed is, like, not one of my favorite bosses, I would imagine, because this is all conjecture still, to be fighting with Ludovico technique. Although it is really nice to be able to stand super far away during the fight, but you gotta, it's a little bit more of a mobile boss, so you gotta be a little bit more careful, I guess. That was a really good assortment of pills there. Because we're on Caves Part 2, I think it's possible we have an arcade, and we do. Which is, I would describe that as fine. Seems like it would be very nice for me to get another HP plus speed upgrade here. Not super interested in playing the other items, or the other options here, but might actually be good to invest some money into the Fortune Teller. Money's not that important for us, you know, given that we already own the Steam sale. But yeah, invest some money here, and maybe even here to win some bombs or something. Because I would very much like to get a different trinket. As much as the left hand can occasionally work out quite nicely, not always. And more red hearts, of course, is nice too. But we already have several on this floor. To the point where backtracking is probably going to be annoying as is, so maybe I should just be content with what I have. Alright, a little bit more money. I'll tell you what, we'll play these guys till we get down to 20 cents. I would like some bombs. The Spirit Heart is nice as well. Can't complain too much about that, but watch me. And we play once more. Hey, it would be nice to get Fly Love. There we go. Flies can be a little annoying with Ludovico technique, as we saw. And we'll just keep investing a little bit here. It would be nice to get a penny trinket. I wouldn't really be too picky. Counterfeit penny would be the worst for us, because we already have decent money. But could still be great if we pick up, you know, money equals power or something like that. I think we have enough Spirit Hearts to feel relatively confident about investing all of our red hearts, except for half of one, of course, into this blood bank ordeal here. That's the way I feel about it, at least. You may feel differently, but I'm the one in charge of the keyboard here, so ha ha ha. This is Northernlion. He plays, well, not competitive, but first-person shooters on the PC with a controller and the Binding of Isaac with a keyboard. I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm kind of a weird dude. I don't play Counter-Strike with a controller as much as I get accused of it. Well, I don't play Counter-Strike with a controller at all. I get accused of it now and then, which is... I'll admit, alright, I'm gonna make myself seem like total casual scum here, but when I got access to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, it was way back in the beta, so it was like early spring 2012 or something like that, so over 2 years ago. And I played it with the keyboard and mouse, and I was like, it doesn't really work with my hands. I'm gonna use, let's use Repentance here, by the way. Alright, I don't know what it did. I'm gonna use the Xbox 360 controller, and then I did like one match with a 360 controller and was like, I'm an idiot. This is a dumb thing. Yeah, those people will smoke you. It's not even like a PC Master Race thing. It's just for, oh, that's, should have gotten that earlier, but whatever. For like Twitch shooters or Twitch inputs, you gotta have keyboard and mouse. It's just faster, man. I don't. Maybe if you're really, really well trained on a keyboard and have almost no experience on a keyboard and mouse. Sorry, if you're really, really, really well trained on a controller and have no experience on a keyboard and mouse. But even for me, the kind of person who uses a controller to play, like, well, probably over 50% of the stuff that I play. I mean, this is not news to anybody, but anyway. Long story short, obvious conclusion you could have drawn for yourself. We're on the Depths 1, and it's a very community remixy run here. Thank God I walked in there to use Cool Bean. Yeah, I'll pick it up. I think it's going to be safe. I really wish that we could get some bombs out of the situation, I'll tell you that much, but so far so good nonetheless. I mean, we've got decent amount of HP, and at this point we're in the same boat that we were in on our last Ludovico technique run, which was like 2 runs ago, which is basically we just need damage. If we can just find a way to stack up damage, then life is but a dream, right? And if we could find a way to make Cool Bean actually work, that would be effective as well. I've dwelled on it a little bit, but I apologize for that, because this is something that, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I should have known about it, but it's not necessarily the game's fault either if it's already been fixed and it's just me having an outdated version. But I'm glad we got Ludovico technique so the run could be interesting regardless. Man, Loki seems like a great boss for Ludovico technique. As soon as the bombfly spawns, it pretty much just explodes, and he's not that mobile for the most part. So here's our D with the D. You know what? Yes. Yes, goodbye, Cool Bean. You had your chance, and one of us blew it. I'm not going to name names. Now we have Sulfur. Sulfur is still pretty bad, but with the battery, we might be able to use it once every 2 rooms instead of once every 3, and it's a little bit extra killing power, I guess. It's kind of an interesting item, I guess, at the very least. Still got an item room and shop to visit upon this time. Okay, so I guess Ludovico technique with Sulfur. It was like an invisible brimstone. You know, my favorite Phil Collins song. That's actually Genesis. My bad, Genesis. I didn't mean to insult you, Peter Gabriel. Easy rooms, obviously. Skinny Odd Mushroom. Pretty sure that's just going to cause us to have lower damage. But I picked it up regardless because I'm an idiot and didn't think things through, I guess. Let's try this now. Okay. I used it and nothing happened. Does Sulfur just not work with Ludovico technique? Or perhaps I'm not thinking outside of the box enough. Maybe Sulfur works fantastically with Ludovico technique, but you need to use it when your tier is already on something, and maybe it'll do a ton of damage, or maybe it does like damage in a horizontal line, whatever direction you're facing, outwards. Maybe? Could be. I don't know. Because there's no visual effect, it's pretty hard to tell, but through experimentation, you know, we can kind of figure it out for ourselves. You know, you can't see electrons, but just through, you know, well, not divination, but through deduction, you can derive that they exist. So we're gonna figure that out for ourselves here, despite the fact that we can't really see what phenomenon we're experiencing, and that's okay. Now, 1 bomb for 2 bombs. It's a great trade that I wish I could execute, but unfortunately I can't. Bum Friend is terrible. I don't really want to buy any of this. Let's go to our curse room quickly. Pills and... oh, gosh darn it. Well, we got a health upgrade, so I feel great about that. But, yeah, it kind of sucked up to that point, but now I can't really complain. And still no bombs on this floor, huh? That's, oh, 2 health upgrades. That's very nice. But no bombs. OTI is disappointing. So I guess we're just done with this floor, which is, I mean, it worked out reasonably well. I still have no idea if Sulfur actually works. Maybe just my spacebar items are busted or something. Maybe it's not Cool Bean's fault. And if that's the case, I have no idea how that happened. But that's not necessarily abnormal for me. So let's move along here. So, okay, I'm gonna put this down. No, you know, I want to fight like a single target foe. And then put it down and see if it works, if it does like insane damage or something. So to have a health bar would be really nice. A health bar on the boss, I should say. Doctor's Remote, I know we could, you know, pick it up. I don't know, man. I don't think it's necessarily doing that much more damage. But maybe it is. Maybe it doesn't do more damage temporarily. Maybe it does more damage for the remainder of the room. We can test it out on Mom here, I think. I think we'll be able to do it. Sure, more keys is nice. despite having flat penny, we don't really have a ton. You know what? I think, not to toot my own horn, I think I'm right, though. I think using sulfur does give our Ludovico technique tier more damage for a room, which means we should be using it more often. It's basically like, yeah, that's faster. It's basically like Book of Belial, weirdly enough. Should have saved it for this room, I guess, but should be relatively easy nonetheless as long as we keep ourselves out of harm's way. Easier said than done, but also fairly easily done, apparently. And this is Key City for us. Key City, bitch. Key City, bitch. Don't bother locking the mini fridge. Because we got the key, because that's the city we're in. We got the key for the mini fridge. Why are you locking the mini fridge? What if there's like, what if the power goes out? We need to eat all the Pringles or something. You're gonna say, who keeps Pringles in a mini fridge? Go to a hotel sometime. That is chilled Pringles City. They put them in there so that, you know, they got the mini bar sensor, so if you take the Pringles out, they can go through the footage later and be like, oh shit, this guy loves salty snacks. Who doesn't? Marriott. Everybody loves salty snacks. Mostly. Mostly your mother. So I felt like that was a good use of a bomb. You know, the range upgrade notwithstanding, I guess. Even though we're fairly powerful, and I would like to fight the boss just to get this floor over with, I think that would be a foolish and rash decision. Because there's a decent chance that we come across an arcade. If there's an arcade... Oh, no. Yeah, okay. If there's an arcade, then that also means that there's a blood bank, which means we can get into that boss trap room, and if it's decent, then great. Could use more HP with the Ludovico technique. One thing that frequently happens is I take damage. Supplies. Now, we're just gonna move along. We could bomb our way maybe into it, but I really doubt it. Remember recently I said I should really be using my sulfur ability way more often, especially since we have the battery. Apparently I've completely forgotten about it. Let's try it out here. Oh, it does way more damage. I'm not totally surprised, but I'm a little disappointed that it took me so long to figure out how that actually helps us out. But it's, you know, it's an abnormal synergy, I guess. So I think I can be somewhat forgiven, at least. Now, if we could just get 9-volt working in conjunction with the battery, which obviously we're not going to because the shop is already exhausted. 2 greed fights, unfortunately. Hey, there is an arcade. So as much as I would love to use the sulfur card here, Ludovico technique seems pretty great for taking out these Zambros. And we're going to want sulfur for the mom fight, where we can really visualize how much it'll help us by the health bar. So one way or the other, this is going to work out for us. We're going to get either... Well, we don't really want the IV bag. 2 out of 3 possible ways this works out are good for us. We either get access to the boss trap room and or get the blood bag, or we get IV bag. Obviously, IV bag sucks. Good news here is obviously a fuck ton of keys as well, in case you didn't notice. Should be enough red hearts for us to be reasonably okay. Get back to not necessarily full HP, but maybe close at the very least. We have that Eternal Heart, which I actually forgot about. We've got enough Spirit Hearts backing it up. And we have a range upgrade, really? You're going to do me dirty like that? Okay. Well, looks like we're going to be fighting our mom fight then. Should have used this death card on those zombies. Why even take it if I'm not going to use it? Like, I've got to take the sun card with me, obviously. There we go. Goodbye, death card. Crazy amounts of keys. Not really that many golden chests so far, but that's okay. Why can't we see what item is in there? Or, I shouldn't say that. Why on the map can I see that, like, yellow burst outline? Like, that normally doesn't show up unless you've already seen the item, right? Oh, I did see the item. It was a range upgrade. It was so inconsequential to me that it didn't even register in my brain. Alright. Maybe time to have a little bit more coffee. Let's pop this sulfur. Okay. So here's a glitch. Oh, no! Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so here's the ticket. If you pop sulfur after using Ludovico technique, I think it gives you that extra damage. If you pop sulfur before using Ludovico technique, before firing, then it gives you this sweet-ass ring of fucking fire that you can kind of chart around here. That's pretty sweet. It's basically just an enormous Ludovico tier. Oh, that's cool, man. Okay, so now I know how to use that more effectively. That is going to be a lot of fun. Okay, now I'm all in on this run again. I'm having a good time. No sneezes allowed. Okay. I said, what did I just say? We should be at a full charge after this room. Oh, so that makes Sulfur plus Ludovico technique like actually a really sweet combo. I think, at least. I'm gonna take damage probably to open this. Maybe I'll get super lucky. There we go. Oh, wait, it's Tapeworm. Tammy's tail, sorry. Blessed. I still don't know what that means, except it gives us a chance to become... Okay, let's charge up the shot. There we go. It gives you a chance to become Guppy, I guess. It gives us a chance to become Guppy. Oh, this is sweet. If only I'd gotten more items to charge Sulfur with. Nun's Habit, 9 volt, etc., etc. And we could use it more often, this would be amazing. But against bosses, this seems super cool. And rooms with a lot of enemies, because it basically is just one enormous tier with a little bit of a safety zone in the center of it. But in a weird way, it almost puts me in too good to use syndrome. Because I really don't want to use that sweet effect until I know now. But I guess I could just use the Book of Belial effect instead on rooms that are less important. It's weird, it shouldn't make a difference, but it kind of does in my brain. It takes a second to charge up, but once it's charged, oh man, that is sweet. Sweet. And I guess if we played our cards right, we could just stand in the middle of it and use it as like a sweet protective barrier. Oh, that's kind of cool. This run, I think, has been salvaged from the ashes of kind of not being that amazing. Not to be, you know, overly dramatic. Not being that amazing. Whoa, this guy uses some strong language. It's true, I don't mince my words. I'm an impolite man who's got a plan to offend. Doesn't really make any sense. Kind of made me sound like Michael Scott. Now, keys. Okay. Who we got here? Oh, this is bad for you, Death. So pop this bad boy. Boom, get this shit out of here. Protect yourself lest you wreck yourself. Oh, yeah, get in the fuck zone. Look at this shit. Reading Rainbow has never been so deadly. Take a lot. It's in your butt. Ludovico. Doesn't really work. It's not really doing a ton of damage against the horse either, but, you know, it does get hit twice temporarily when it goes by. No deal with the devil, a little disappointing, but I did take some red heart damage on that floor, so that's fine. Okie dokie, I'm excited about this run now. It does give you, not only is it like a bigger tier, but it gives you a damage buff as well. So I basically am assuming that the Book of Belial kind of usage, when you use Sulfur after you have a tier spawned already, gives you basically the same thing as using Sulfur first, except you just have a bigger tier, basically, when you use Sulfur first. Which I prefer, obviously, because it makes it way easier to do damage and or protect yourself from enemies doing damage to you. Doesn't protect you from tiers, but it does protect you from anything killable that's coming close to you. We already have Fly Love, which pretty much sorts a lot of that out anyway. Yeah, I think this is worthwhile. Oh, no, I already used a tier first. That was stupid. But hey, look at the damage. Oh my god. Maybe that actually does more damage than the weird Ring of Fire. I don't know, man. This is giving my brain some workshop space, which is kind of neat. Seriously, like, now this damage just seems completely inadequate to me. Like, please. If I'm not going to kill enemies in a fraction of a second, what's the point of even being here? Well, a lot of them are popping in and out of the ground, too, which doesn't really help me out too much. Hey. It's like playing whack-a-mole here. Whack-a-mole. Oh, so I made the mistake again, but wow. This does so much damage. Hard to tell if it's more or less than the other effective use of it. We'll see in time. That almost did damage to me, which would have been very disappointing. It's bullshit. They can't see me. They shouldn't pop down as soon as they get hit. That's my feelings on the AI here. My largely inconsequential feelings on how things should work with no knowledge of game design or programming. Well, it's going to be a long trip to the top if you want to rock and roll, I guess. And truth be told, our HP is not that amazing. We'll keep moving it out and along here in the hopes of good things befalling us. This should be an easy enough room to take without blowing a sulfur charge. Well, this is really, when I talked about in that video 2 or 3 runs ago, when I had Ludovico technique, I was like, you need really like a good run to make Ludovico technique seem super worth it. to seem like that really, really exciting item. I think this is it. Obviously, just having, like, regular brimstone would be better because you could use it more frequently. But this is pretty cool as well. Yeah, we'll play Judgment. We got no money equals power. Ugh, bad damage. But if we get an HP upgrade, it cancels out and then some. So work with me here, J-Bro. J-Bro is, probably a term you use to describe a, you know, perhaps even a platonic friend that you masturbate with. I'm just guessing there. You want a J-O with your J-Bro? We can do it while we're watching a J-Lo music video. Sorry. We can do it while we're watching a music video from J-Lo. Don't act like you haven't. Well, I guess if you're a little younger, maybe you haven't. I don't know. Is she still popular-ish? People know who she is, at least. I don't know if she still makes music, though. Maybe she's a host or a judge on one of those, like, 18 singing reality shows. The Voice, America's Got Talent, American Idol. I don't even know anymore, man. There's too many. We should just go back to Star Search. Now, I still have the Sun card, which is going to be very nice. I will end up using the Chariot card against the boss. Because why not, right? Unless there was a, well, okay. That would be why not. We could use the Unicorn Horn instead, but just seems like it would be a smart idea. Get the job done here. And then pop Sulfur, and then get this thing out here, and then let it do your dirty work for you. Let's put it this way. Should make crowd control pretty easy, considering all enemies will spawn in the Ring of fucking Destruction. There we go. That seems to have worked out quite nicely. Let's try that again. Yeah, this seems like pretty much, you know, your ideal way to fight Mom's Heart, if I had to say. I'll just be back here if anybody needs me. It's actually not doing that much damage, but it is, you know, it's taking care of business. BTO style. What does BTO stand for? Bachman-Turner Overdrive. There's no clever acronym or anything. So we're definitely going to go fight Satan. That was a mistake I made last time. Why fight Isaac when you can fight Satan? I think it's a cooler boss fight. Hopefully we find it pretty soon. I'm not just saying this to build up drama, by the way, but our damage, apart from the sulfur runs, is not... That's bad. Is not that amazing. Having sulfur on the Satan fight is going to be amazing, though. What is this? Corruption. Well, we're going to use Spider Mod to teleport us out of here, obviously. I can see another room down here. Cheats. Teleport to room. We're put ourselves back in our spawn here. We still have to get our sun card. So that was a dead end and a half right there. Death is going to be a little bit of a tedious fight, but that'll give us more sulfur charges. As long as he stays away, I don't really care that much. Get away from me, you big old jerk face. I don't want your business anymore, okay? And it's probably going to be a little tedious to actually kill the horse using Ludovico technique, but we'll get it done. It's because our damage is not incredible, and it's very mobile, which is really like the perfect storm of... Oh, never mind, it's dead. We still need that sun card for sure. The longer we can... go without using it, the better our life and our chance will be here. But I'm excited about this run. Certainly a run that makes me feel good about still playing a Community Remix. So this is definitely a room where we benefit from this little song and dance here, I think. Bad damage, but that's okay. Oh, it's nice when they kind of walk through the entire lower half of that circle. Oh my lord. 41, 43 keys of Orient are now. Okay, be concerned and be aggressive. Be aggressive. Now, just stand the heck back. Sulfur's ready. Blood bank's there. We're not gonna play that. I think we're gonna use sulfur on this room. So I fucked it up and I don't have the ring, but still the damage that this does is insane, as you can see. Quite plainly. No boss room yet. Ooh. Oh, okay, bad damage. Well, now I kind of wish that I had saved sulfur for this room, given the circumstances and the fact that there's, you know, 50% more enemies on this one. Careful, careful, careful. One of these guys has got to be very close to death. Actually, I think they both got to be very close. That didn't stop them from pissing me off, though. Oh, our boss room's right there, so I'm not going to Oop. I'm not going to pop sulfur as much as I might like to. Against Satan, it seems like the ring would be super effective. You know, have a wider spread, so maybe you hit some of the bomb flies at the same time you're hitting the feet. Definitely seems like it would be best to help take out the fallen. Oh, my tears are all the way over there. I was like, where the heck did it go? And again, if I could avoid using my sun card until, especially if we could use it on the blue baby boss fight, it would be amazing. But if I could use it, or avoid using it until at least the chest, I would feel very good about things. Come on here, just be dead. Your health bars are gone. There we go. As if I didn't have enough keys. Yeah, there we go. It'd be up to like 50 now. Yeah, right on the nose. All right, monitor your health very, very closely. This is the approach we're gonna take here. That seems pretty sweet so far. And now we can hit both fallen at the same time. Just keep this circle trained over top. Well, that was a little scary. And now I'm assuming that we can hit him with like 90% of this. And really like wreck his health quickly, assuming that's the way this actually works. Like the more surface area you've got on him, the more damage it does. I don't know if that actually is how it works, but he's dead, so we don't need to worry about that too much. And now, watch out for bomb flies, but mostly take care of the feet. That's a little scary. And the bomb flies, they're seeming to be very, very easy. They die in like a second of exposure. Good stuff. And we're done. That was very easy. And we still have the sun card, which is incredibly good. D12. Doesn't work in this build yet. Mr. Mega's fine. Everything else is trash. Sort of. I mean, D12 does work. It just doesn't work for what we want to accomplish. Mr. Mega bombs are nice. I'm not gonna shit on those Mr. Megas. Now, we're at a floor where basically we're gonna want sulfur every room. So we gotta be a little cautious about, or a little conservative about what we're gonna use it on. I think. This room seems smart. And to be honest with you, the rooms are probably long enough where we might get sulfur charges back. Like on every room, even though it might be towards the end. Just gotta play it smart and use this sun card where it's appropriate. Don't fuck with me, War. I'm not in the mood right now. Should have an easy-ish win here. I've been wrong before, though. Hey! Second secret room, which is actually, like, potentially really amazing. Because it could give me a bunch of red hearts. So this is what I was worried about with, like, Ludovico technique against War, is he's barely getting hit at all during those, you know, extended vacations he's taking. I think I've got to put it a little lower. The hitbox isn't totally accurate. Yeah. Or maybe, like, try to swipe him as he comes by. That's alright, we can wait here. I'm not in any rush, and I really don't want to use this sulfur card, or sulfur action. There we go. I don't want to use sulfur until we finish this off. Or until we get to the next room, which is, what I mean is finish off this room. Now, my tier's a little slow, so I gotta, you know, abuse kind of his directionality to cut him off. Luckily, I can send it in whatever direction I so please, but, geez. Oh, no! Well, now we have an excuse to use it right away, I guess. That was so stupid of me, though. I'm actually disappointed, very disappointed in myself. But this should be a lot faster. Pestilence already dead. And we did get Child's Heart, which, hey, if it gives us more red heart drops, actually might be somewhat worthwhile. And wow, that didn't really slow us down that much. It did take our sulfur charge, but whatever. So we want to kill Gluttony last here, if it's at all possible. Put down some mega bombs. Maybe that'll help us take out Sloth. Got to make sure to still focus on doing something with your tears here. Didn't work as well as I thought it would, but I didn't take damage at least. Stop fucking moving, okay? That's your homework for tonight, Wrath. Stay the fuck still. Thank you. And I don't mind using bombs for this because there's no way I'm going to be using them on our late game boss fights. Come on. Oh, I'm just going to be using sulfur and brimstone. Judgment, interesting. Yeah, okay, this is good. Very lucky if it gives us something that we desire, which is not unlikely. Yeah, the compass, that actually saves us some heartache here. Long trip to the boss room, but that gives us, you know, the impetus to use some sulfur charges, like the one I'm going to use right now, because this is pretty much just a harder version of that room we had earlier that was so annoying to me. So this, you can really see, like, my base damage, I wouldn't 100% say it's god-awful, but it's not very good. But my damage with sulfur is quite nice. So really, half of these rooms are nightmares, and the other half are relatively easy. As long as we time it appropriately and have sulfur on the boss room, and if possible, the sun card as well, I don't think anything can really stop us. Except for, like, a really, really hard room in the middle. Like, okay, Famine, why are you doing... Summon some freaking flies, you dingo. Are you seriously just gonna try to sidle your way down here? Absolute bullshit. If you just summoned some flies, I could have killed you in like 2 seconds. But instead, we got some, you know, fucking malarkey going on. You know what? I did use the sulfur charge here. That's not going to make some people very happy, considering we are going to beat the room anyway. But War has been super annoying to fight with Ludovico technique. And we're still going to get a reroll before, or a charge before the boss. Sometimes charges are rerolls, sometimes they're not. So bomb's important for this. I know I took some damage, but especially with Mr. Mega, bomb's important for this, just to keep them a little bit more at bay. Again, very unlikely to be using them against the boss anyway. I don't know what I was thinking there. I hate Super Lust. That's what I'm thinking at all times. Seriously? This is what I was saying, like one difficult room on the lead up to the boss could be very problematic. Full health? Shot speed up, it doesn't really bother me that much. Oh, good, it's the same room again. So my guess is we're gonna end up using the sun card. Yeah, there we go, we used it right there. You happy, game? You did it, you broke me. No, stay low. Oh, I got no bombs left. Oh man, this is problematic. The only enemy I can't fight is Super Lust. He's too fast, so his creep doesn't go away. You can kind of dodge through it. There are occasionally spots you can dodge through, but man. Oh, Jesus. Luckily, this is harder than it looks, I promise you that. I'm very lucky to say that, you know, our sulfur damage on the boss should help us out. And hey, Yumhard compensates a little bit. We actually get back to full health. But man, that was scary for a minute there. Alright, so in order to take out all the flies, I think it's best to summon the Ring of Fire here, and we'll just keep Blue Baby pretty much directly in it. With our full suite of orbitals, I think I have a relatively decent chance of being okay here. He's gonna shoot a lot, but that's not really been a problem so far. You know what would be great with this right now is Rage. We wouldn't even notice as we started doing more and more damage. So this is over. We've won, and this was a really cool Ludovico technique run. I'm very happy that we were able to get this item and make Cool Bean, you know, not necessarily a martyr for this whole run. Instead, we got to do something cool and very community remixy as well. So that's very nice. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, your support is always appreciated. Click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow probably. Bye. Boop.